guys after this one, Michael?
4-0, winning a game the second night of a back-to-back. It's not always pretty, but we found a way. I felt for 3 quarters we defended at a high level, and obviously that team stayed around because we did not defend in the fourth quarter. 33 points on 56 from the field. We had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter for 11 points, so we kept them in it with that, and then the rebounding wasn't anywhere close to where it needs to be. They had 17 offensive rebounds tonight, so I'd much rather clean things up and watch film after a ugly win than the alternative. So we'll take the win, but we know we have to be better as we move forward.
Aaron told me after the game that KCP is the anchor of this defense, deserves all the credit in the world, deserves to be all NBA. Care to weigh in on that?
I agree. I mean, you look at the job that he's done 4 games into the season. He's won the defensive player of the game chain 4 times for us. And it's not that other guys aren't defending well, but he's just doing it at a very elite level right now against some great players, guys that can get going and score in bunches. And once again, whether it's Shea in OKC, Clarkson tonight, Bain in Memphis, no one guards anybody one-on-one in this league. It's a team effort. But obviously, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is leading that charge, and it's been fun to watch him take on that responsibility every night.
Speaking of defense, Christian Brown was in there, and you guys have moved him. Seen somebody get hot. He was over, in fact, a couple times. I got him. Your thoughts on him and how he's developing as a defensive guy off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, 9 points, 8 boards, coming off of a game where he had 13, 7, and 7. CB's toughness, he's strong. And as you mentioned, Scott, he has a want to. He wants to guard guys, doesn't shy away from those opportunities, which is what you want. Probably, sometime in that fourth quarter, CB did a good job, but getting Michael back in that game, he's a guy that obviously is coming off of a good game himself in OKC, one of our leading rebounders, a great shooter. So Michael will close most nights, but I thought CB was pretty good with that group in the fourth.
Was there any injury concern from Michael coming off the second night of back-to-back?
No injury concern. He got in foul trouble in that first half for 3 fouls. And then, as I mentioned, didn't go back to him in the fourth quarter, but probably should have gotten him back in there at some point. But good to get the win. I think we have a lot of guys in this team that are truly selfless and sacrifice, and Michael's definitely one of those guys.
What did you need to see from Michael to get him back out there in the fourth quarter?
I don't know. I just answered 2 questions about it, so I'll have to watch the film.
Coach, Nikola Jokić tied LeBron James for triple doubles. I'm sure he doesn't care at all, but is there any reflection from you of a kid out of Sombor, second-round pick, just tied LeBron James for triple doubles?
Where does that put him on the list? Tied for 4th. And the guys ahead of him are who? Oscar, Russell, and Magic. Wow. How many is behind those guys?
I think like 30 behind Magic or so.
Right, so we'll get those in probably like 30 games. Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I've said this for a few years now. I challenge myself never to take Nikola for granted, his greatness every single night. I wasn't even aware that he had a triple-double, 27, 11, and 10. It speaks to his greatness. It speaks to his consistency, night in and night out, just playing the game at an extremely high level. And I think the one thing that you compare LeBron and Nikola is their ability, their IQ, and their ability to make everyone around them better. And that truly is the definition of greatness, in my opinion.
Coach, at 103-98, I think some people were looking, maybe you were going to call timeout. Did you just want them to play through that tough stretch and get out of it, obviously get the and-1 with Nikola?
Yeah, I mean, we have to, we got to figure things out. I mean, we're at a point, 9 years in, 8 years in, some guys 7 years in. We have veterans who won a championship, organize ourselves, execute on offense, get the ball to our best player, and react to the defense. And obviously, we were able to do that down the stretch. You look at the missed free throws tonight. We left a lot of easy points in the foul line. And then obviously, as I mentioned earlier, that was a huge point of emphasis going into the game, their elite offensive rebounding. Again, we just did not do nearly a good enough job in that area.
Michael, there was that sequence in the first half where Zeke grabs an offensive rebound and the crowd goes back up for a dunk over, I think it was Walker Kessler.
Mm-hmm.
How encouraging was that sequence, and then what did you make of his night as a whole?
Yeah, Zeke is just playing so damn hard. the play that you referenced, Vinny, was the crowd went crazy, the bench went crazy. Zeke is just working on that glass and going up and finishing with authority against a very good shot blocker. I thought that bench unit had some really good stretches tonight, and that's such a big part of this team right now. Is you're playing. I mean, at one point we had Jamal out there with Julian Straw, the rookie, Peyton, basically a rookie, CB, a second-year player, and Zeke, a four-year player, and that group is. And then sometimes Reggie's out there with that group. That group is kind of forming an identity in front of our eyes right now, and Zeke has kind of been the anchor to that in terms of size, physicality, rebounding, and it's been really fun to watch and proud of him.
One more question?
Coach, there was a sequence in the first half with back-to-back air balls from Strawler and Watson. You pulled aside Peyton at one of those points, and it looked like you had some words for him, just giving him some encouragement tips. What do you want to see from him in that situation, and what have you liked about what he's done through 4 years?
Yeah, I think if I'm correct, Ryan, I think the play you're referencing was at the end of the quarter. He caught the ball in transition and settled for a pull-up three. And so, it's a fine line. I'm going to be hard on him, but I also have to, love him and build him up. It's a delicate balance with young players. And I just said, listen, man, can you make that shot? Of course, I've seen you make threes before. I go, but I want you to play with an attack mindset. I don't want you settling out here. Put pressure on that rim, dunk on somebody, get to the foul line, see that ball go in. Say, don't settle. I mean, you have to be an attack player. And, he appreciates it. He wants to be coached. That's what I like about Peyton. He wants to be coached. But you look at 4 games into this season, I think Peyton's been outstanding for us. I mean, defensively, rebounding, attacking the basket, moving on penetration, blocking shots. I think he's checking a lot of boxes right now. And I think the exciting thing with us is that, he's only scratching the surface. I think he has so much room to grow. Didn't play really at UCLA, didn't play a lot last year, and now he's getting rotational minutes, and I think it's going to be a pretty steep learning curve for him, and look forward to being a part of that.
Coach Malone, the team has had the 3rd best defensive rating in the NBA prior to tonight. And tonight you held them to a 104 defensive rating. How have you been able to help them focus on that end of the ball and to get to this level, to perform at this level defensively?
Well, because we won a championship by defending. Yeah, I mean, I think you look at our defensive rating in the playoffs last year was outstanding. Our defensive rating in the NBA Finals was incredible. I think the last 3 games of the NBA Finals, we held them under 100 points. So, if you look at last year in 82 games, I think we got bored at times. And I hate to say that, but there's no other explanation for us to show that we are really elite defensively. Clutch rating was, I think, 3rd in the NBA for 82 games. And then sometimes we got bored and we were just about to be a top 10 defense, then we wouldn't defend for 5 games and we dropped to 15. So we know we have it. The challenge now is to do it every single night. And through 4 games and a pretty difficult schedule right now in terms of games played, our guys are defending at a high level. And it's not just KCP, he's spearheading that, but everybody else is locked in as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.